What is up, people? Slab Bacon back with another episode on the Pork Grind server. So, guys, we gotta get this ready to go. We really gotta get this ready to go. So, a couple things that we have to get done before we can start this is we have to get this system in place, which means just because of the way it all fits to... Well, hang it, Bobby. Just because of the way it all fits together, that means I have to get this little box area, which is going to be the system that puts iron ingots into our inventory to craft into blocks. All that has to be put together at the same time as well, so we can put the sorting system in for it underneath here and link it all together. And then this elevator's got to come up here, and it's got to funnel ingots, and we gotta set up a shulker system over here to load the ingots into a shulker and then start putting them into the chesticles. So it's gonna go in this corner because these are gonna be for iron blocks, right? And these are gonna be the shulkers full of ingots. So we gotta set that up in this corner and have it go in this early direction. Now, I was looking at my design, which we did basically all on stream, and there's some efficiencies there, but there's also some inefficiencies that if I wasn't super tired when I was recording, I probably wouldn't have made. So we gotta sort all that out. We're gonna have to pop into creative and look at that, but I already have the first part figured out. The major inefficiency with it is some storage. So I want to work on that while we're in here, but before we do, I wanted to show you guys progress on the server, because it's pretty incredible. Okay, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess that works. Sure. There's just blocks here. So, Clayton has been working like crazy. He put the decoration in on the mob farm here. Whoa. And I actually came in. Oh, I guess this is our entrance. Aha. I actually came in and helped him. We redid this clock, which I'll go over and explain when I do it in Skyblock, to make the mob farm much more efficient instead of the one that was just in the system by default. Can I? No? Can I? No? Yeah, no, it won't let me use these like ladders. Can I do one of these? Aha! Beautiful. Good idea, Clayton. So, yeah, then Clayton got crazy here starting our path, which looks freaking amazing, guys. Blows me away. I don't know how he got so much progress done. But we got the path leading all the way down here to the dock, which is great. So we got our boat dock path and stuff and things here. And then it comes all the way around. I believe he's working on putting all the lighting in. Oh, Polly's! Hi, Polly. Cool. Polly found a nice place. I believe he's working on the lighting because, I mean, lots of grinding there for iron and stuff. And we've been talking... Whoa! No, I broke it. Oh, no, can't do it. Talking about cleaning up the farms and that kind of stuff as well. So, he's put in a nice house here for all our items to go into from the mob farm. We got to put the sorting system in for that. So, we'll probably do a collab with that in a future video. He's even put this beautiful decoration in for the stuff and things for spawn to catch elytras when we fight. Path's going over here. It looks incredible. I think he moved this. Yeah, it looks like he did move this. Move these guys over just to line up with his layout for the pass. Put a nice little fountain in here. Like, just amazing. Redid the pig in pink. There was talk about that. So the pig's still here, redone in pink, which I think looks amazing. We might do like carpet on the roof because at the moment it's lit up with torches. So, you know, the hidden lighting underneath the carpets and that kind of thing. And then I haven't even seen this. Here's our guy here. And of course, the paths off to the chicken farm, and I believe the other side links up with the library, and then he said he's been working on this over here, which, yeah, looks pretty awesome. So I guess this is going to be the sorting system. He's fixed up the redstone for these two farms and have them going into here. And future plan is I'm going to do like a melon farm and a crop farm with villagers, like, wheat, all that in this section, this empty plot here. We're going to stick those here. And then all of that is going to go into this little hut, which apparently underneath has some fandangled redstone wizardry going on here. Yeah, see? So he's got, all the stuff and things going on here. I'm going to let him go over it all with me, because he wants to go over it, see what I think, that kind of stuff and things. So I'm looking forward to that. But it's looking, guys, Spawn looks just amazing. Like, big props to Clayton for doing all this work. And, of course, the other guys like Johnny Fun and everybody else that has contributed on the server. All of y'all do awesome work, but Spawn is looking, like, fabulous. We got a lot more to go. Apparently, what we decided as a group is, since we got this awesome, I guess you'd call it a castle, that Johnny Fun and Clayton have been working on back here. I mean, castle, mansion, mansion? I don't know. But we're going to bridge out there, and we're going to put, like, a bulk storage and a smelter in there as well. So I'm super excited. So my plan as far as the iron farm goes is, I love that the pig's pink now. It's amazing. Is to increase our efficiency in terms of storage. So we're going to go into creative here in a sec and check out what we had, and I'm going to be working on a redesign of what we had, because what I'd like to see is actually a shulker drop-off system right here with a little light indicating whether there's shulkers available for the iron farm to actually use. Alright, peeps. So, if you would remember, this is what we did in the live stream, and there's a couple issues with this. Like, that clearly I was overtired. So the reason I want the sorting up top, you can if you watch the live streams or after the fact, or we're actually chatting with me in the live stream, we put this here for a shulker box return up top. And the problem with this is it goes into a water stream, right? And then goes into the system, which, I mean, if the system's full, those boxes are going to despawn. So problem number one. Problem number two. We put an all-stop in to this system here, our shulker loaders, on both sides, so that when the storage filled up, it would stop the shulkers from, like, filling and going into the system. But we didn't stop to consider that this needs to stop crafting when it runs out of empty shulker boxes, because if that breaks and it doesn't put a new one out, then essentially this design's broken without coming in manually resetting it. So we need to fix that. We also have a problem that, as accurate as this is, every once in a while, it's going to throw a shulker into your inventory when it's running. And the whole goal here is to come in with an empty inventory and start crafting iron blocks, and just to be able to spam. I keep breaking stuff. Dang it, Bobby. Spam stuff in there. Is there even a crafting table around here? Let's grab table and put that back. Just be able to craft and spam stuff into the system, and the system needs to be able to process it. So if you accidentally chuck ingots, or if you accidentally, or you chuck the intended blocks, it should pick them up and deal with them. Problem is, if you accidentally get one of those shulkers and throw it, because it will occasionally happen, it's just going to end up in the lava flow. So we need to actually have a no stack item filter built in here to pick up the shulker boxes, empty shulker boxes, before any items hit the dispensary here. And that's not that hard to do, right? Like, we just put a hopper here, put the no stack item filter in, the hopper goes into that hopper, things come down here, the hopper picks stuff up, and if it's a no stack item, it'll push it into the system. If not, it'll just push it into the trash can disposal thing. So that's got to be added. Second, we need to clean this waterway up a little bit, because you can see the way it is in our actual builds. It's going to just overhang out into the foyer and be ugly. So, like, this is a lot of changes, right? And finally, the biggest one is I designed this to have this waterway coming into the storage here, and then just an unnecessarily large amount of storage to feed the shulker loader on this side, and on the other side as well. And that's just strain on the server, because this is going to be loaded all the time. So we don't need this. By putting a light system up top, we can cut it down to much less hoppers and chests, a much smaller amount. And I'm thinking what we're going to do is use a minecart system, and the minecart will actually just come over, and we'll have like a buffer chest here, and it'll load into the buffer chest and then go back. And we'll design the system so that if it comes and it's full and it can unload into the buffer chest, it'll just get locked here and stay here, waiting to unload. So it's not constantly going back and forth. By doing that, we can have a much smaller amount of chests here, and instead have them at the front of the farm with a light in the overworld. And then the other problem is, when these are emptied, I have this water stream pushing them back into storage for that loader, and then I have the part up top going into this huge storage system here, which doesn't make sense, because this loader that's getting the iron blocks, it's not going to need to be running unless this is, right? So we can actually eliminate like everything here on this end, this whole section here, just by having, say, a double chest full of shulkers here for this system to use, and then a single chest as a buffer for that to drop empty shulkers into, and just have this water stream going here. Because even if it were to break every single one of these, that's 26, right? So one chest, one empty chest, an empty buffer chest, would take all those, no problem. We could have a minecart come over here and drop those off, and same kind of thing, right? Come over, drop them off, go back to get loaded for more. So what I did was I copied this over here using Bling Edit, and I deleted a whole bunch of stuff. And you can see that I started by working on this waterway here, just to feed these guys with the shulker boxes, and this waterway here to feed this section with the shulker boxes. So the top one that takes the raw ingots and the blocks and the empty shulker boxes has been completely removed, right? Just completely removed. So we're going to have to deal with that. And then I actually worked on this one just because it's more out in the open. You can see this is torn down. And I changed the mechanism here. So we've got that buffer chest here. And like I said, I thought about it, and the plan here is literally just going to be to go like so. And then let's go ahead and grab a trap. No, I don't want a trap chest. Well, you know what? I guess it doesn't matter here. So it's going to be to have a chest here, and then hopper going into that. So, you know what? That might be a bad space for it. We might actually run that off this side instead, because that'll give me more room to put the rail system in. So I'm going to have to work with that. But this is intelligent here, so you can see how there's nothing in here. So it's locked. But if we were to take, say, a bunch of these and fill this, then what happens is you can see that empties out and allows the system to start filling the shulker box. So we need to update that on both sides as well. There, you can hear it. But then because we only put one box in, it's now locked, right? So as soon as this hopper empties out, this will stop filling, which means we'll always have a full dispenser as buffer, which I think is great. We could run it direct off this, but I'd rather just, always have a buffer kind of thing. Always have a buffer, because when it fills fast. So, I've got to get all this done, but the main thing I think we're going to start with is getting the rail system in, and I'll kind of do this in off camera and then explain it when we're done here. All right, so now that you guys kind of know what my thoughts are on this, I gotta figure out how we're gonna do this, and I don't really have a design, ready, to be perfectly honest. I was just planning on kind of winging it. So, I wouldn't mind having something like that, say, here, and then, I don't know, maybe some kind of design like this, right? But then we need a spot. That wouldn't even be far enough. We're going to need a spot where the stuff and things comes out. Like here. I want it to be highly visible, right? So if we had a redstone lamp there, we could go ahead and we could cap that off. I didn't mean to do that either. I mean, we'll have space to work with there. That'll be good. But then, I guess we could have a system, maybe like so? And just have, our chesticle, say like that, right? And then the hopper system that goes down into the storage. And we'd go from there. Alright, so I changed my mind because I realized it was probably a lost opportunity to not have, since we have the little villager house there, a mirror of that. And then I brought this out because see how it goes on an angle here? And then Clayton has the roadway cut in, so I figured it made sense to kind of keep that angle and run it around since we have something similar in the back. And then here's storage and there's our light, right? So that to me makes perfect sense. So I've got the hopper stuff and things going on here. Ooh, crap, I just realized there's a problem with this design. We're gonna lock the hoppers with the redstone, right? Dang it, Bobby! I gotta figure that out somehow. Because, yeah, we can't have... Brr! Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! Because, yeah, pushing the redstone block up. Yeah. Because when it's empty... Oh, no, it won't matter, because when it's full... Yeah, because that would be there. That would be there. When it's empty. Is this going to be a problem? See how that's a problem? Because then you can't get... You would literally have to put them in there. You know what? What if we... Ah, no. Can I have my... What if instead of having those there, we actually put the chesticles at the bottom? And of course I made it... Of course I had to seal myself in here. Okay. And then used panes so you could still access them. That might be the way to go about this. Because that would solve the lock problem, right? Like so. I mean, it's going to do that cross thing, but then you could still get into this, right? Do I like that? Do I like it? It actually cuts back on the number of hoppers too, which, you know, less server strain. Because if we keep it like this, that can be like that just fine. Ah! I'm a Jeebus! And then we can have our actual chesticle system just go down like this, because that should open. And like this, all the way to the bottom. Those are all going to feed into here, right? Shouldn't matter where we throw stuff. See, it's all going to feed into here. And then we could just cascade the chests all the way down till we get to a bottom point. Which, I like that. I like that. It's good. I like it. Now I just need like some lighting, and actually lighting's one thing that kind of concerns me with this, because if that shuts off, technically something can spawn there. Now, why do I make my life difficult? I do have that light for the top, but I don't think that's gonna count for light. Like, let's say if I just let's put glass there instead of a solid block. Okay, let's take this out for now just so we can see what we're doing. If we look at this block right now, that is 12 sky, 12 block, right? But then if we put the redstone block in, is it going to block that light? Looking at 7 block. So, ha! I have a problem with that. I have to figure out lighting. If we were to put glowstone in here, I think that's going to solve the problem. Question is, how's it going to look from out here? Because you can see it there, right? Which isn't as pretty. I'm not a huge fan of that. But it might be the only way to go, because we don't want like a baby zombie spawning on there, right? So we have to do something to that effect. So maybe I'll go with that, I guess, is a thing. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with that and start digging this down and connecting like a railway and all that stuff and things. Alright, people, so through the magic of recording, version 1.5 is done, and we're basically ready to build this in survival now. So you notice I worked on decorative. Of course, my phone goes off. Touches, like finishing this up here. The inside has been just compacted and more efficient. That hopper's just there so I can like put a shulker down for testing for this system. But basically what I did is, as you can see, all the water levels have been like compacted compared to that giant mess we had up there. The top part has been removed. You can see I built in a minecart system. So, I mean, in reality, these would be empty shulker boxes. I decided I don't need like a half chest buffer, because we're going to have the hoppers going into this. And the minecart itself, when it comes, if it can't unload, it's just going to stay there, right? The system will turn off the powered rails, so it'll just be forced to stay put. So that's kind of how we're going to work that. The intelligent switch added to this side as well, that will lock the ingot hopper and prevent it from loading the shulker box should it run out of boxes. That's now on both sides. So I did just move this around, and this used to be a double chest here. So I cut off half a chest on each side. Same thing as I did in the back here. And that was just to lower and compact the water streams. So in addition to that, this got moved out a little bit so it could be lowered without lock updating our shulker box sorter. And then a couple other small changes. The shulker box sorter itself is the same. but I rerouted the cutoff here for when the ingots get full. So it's now just a piston drops down. Powers, oops. It looks like I messed this up. Let's just fix that there. We wouldn't want that like that. Yeah. Yeah, powers that line. And same thing, we'll cut off the sorter. So we've got the same dealio going on for the iron lock system, only instead of it shutting off the sorter over there, I'm going to have it shut off this. Because it makes more sense, right? It doesn't really matter if it shuts off the sorter. Somebody's in the system and they keep crafting, and all those iron blocks they're crafting just end up going to our disposal system here. I've also updated, we now have a no stack item filter built in here. So you can see it grabs any shulker boxes that happen to accidentally make it through the system, and I'll just reroute it into the buffer system for this sorting system here. Beautiful, beautiful, I like it. I did focus on the aesthetics there, as I said. Little bit of cleaning up, like the redstone wiring on this side to go there, and then the actual kill switch to shut this off. So should this final chest here, let's get up here. Should this final chest get filled with shulkers full of iron blocks, it's going to power this line, right? Which is going to send a signal this way, which just updates our lamp on the inside there. Those ones, to indicate this bank is full. But then what it'll also do, because you got to keep in mind, there's still buffer in the hopper, right? There will still be buffer technically in that last hopper for 5 shulkers, which you're not going to get filled. So it's going to send the signal, it's going to extend this piston, which will power this piston, which will fire off this observer. So I rerouted observers here. And then that's going to come all the way down here, power this block, pulse this block quickly, which will fire this off, allowing this to shut down, right? And fire this off, allowing this to go back in place and lock that, right? So it's now got like an auto stop. So the person inside crafting away will just see it stop and will know. I'm going to have to put, like, probably some books or something explaining it over here. But you'll be able to tell because that light will be on, right? Meaning no more crafting. Both these lights will be on. System's full. Good to go. So we're pretty much ready to build this in survival now. Which means it's time to go back and get her done. Alright guys, so I actually stopped construction right here. And the reason I stopped construction right there is because we gotta work down here. We got work down here. I realized I'm gonna want that to come out in a certain location here, so it doesn't make sense to keep going the way we're going. This really needs a port. Well, technically this in here. Oh, this has a port. Whatever. It's a thing. I'm gonna worry about lighting more as we get on. But what we need to do is we need to like start running the waterways and stuff and things up here. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing. So I think the next stage for me is gonna be to start cutting this out so I can work in here. And you would think I wouldn't be stupid like that. But I'm going to be stupid like that. So, you know what? I'm just going to go like that for now. Save the headache. But the thing is I always make a mess when I'm working on fine stuff like this with efficiency. So I'm going to avoid that. Methinks, and I don't know, let's put a ladder here for now so I can get up. So yeah, I'm thinking like I'm gonna get this section cleaned up for sure. So we can begin our work here. And then I've got to cut all these chesticles out. Because I now know my next major section is going there, right? So I think the next stage is what we're going to focus on in the next episode is going to be starting to get these hoppers and the railway system in. Because, yeah, that's probably the most important part at this stage. And the nice thing is, once I get the shulker, like, we don't have to... Whoops. Crap. Yeah, it'll be the next episode. Because we got a ton of stuff to do here. Which is a thing. So, ooh, maybe I want to leave it right there for now. I don't know. Can I make that jump? I can probably make that jump. We'll just clean up this section here, at least. I'm not too worried about losing any of these blocks. We got a small ton. And yeah, once the... Dang it, Bobby! There. Once the shulker box system is in for over there, at least, then I'm pretty much golden. Can I make the jump? As far as doing the rest of this, we can go upstairs and get the top half built and let the iron start building up here while we work on the sorting system in the back, because it's not like we're going to be running that right away anyways. You know, we've got to give it time for all that to build up. Alright, peeps, so I've placed most of, like, the interior level. The ceiling's now in. We've carved that out. I'm going to carve a bit more of this out, but, you know, just to give me some room to work up here. And, you know, I know this episode was mostly talky, but I wanted to get it done just so we could kind of do this. We got check lighting here. See, that's going to be a problem, so I'm going to have to do something about that, because otherwise mobs are going to be able to spawn there. So I'm not sure, because I'm kind of happy with the overhead lighting there. So, yeah, I don't know. I figure it out. I can't even remember. Can you place stuff on stairs? But this will allow us... Oh yeah, we got to do this still. Got to do the structural integrity. So it looks good, and it's pretty, and it's ready to go. But now we got the roof up top, so we can work on the waterways and stuff for the next episode. Get the sorting system in, and then get this built. Because once that's done, then we can bang the top off and start collecting the iron, which makes me super happy. That's how I want to see it, peeps. So, as always, smash that like if you enjoyed the episode to help others like yourself who might enjoy the content find the channel. And if you're new and you haven't already, hit that sub button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.